in Trinidad, and oh
but
boy.
I saw it the other day,
Man,
boy.
and that food looking good, and oh boy.
Yeah, I saw it. Lucky there's no scratch and sniff screen on Facebook. Yeah, they do.
That's funny.
All right, so we're just gonna make sure we are on Facebook because we're gonna do this correctly. We're gonna do this properly.
So I seen this. That's what I'm seeing.
Just now.
Yeah.
All right, good. We are live. We are live.
I'll edit the post just now. I can't do 10 things at the same time.
Okay. All right. Sir, can you hear us?
Jonathan?
Jonathan, can you hear us?
Can you hear us?
Yeah,
you gotta. Okay, he took
perfect,
it up. All right,
perfect.
good.
All you.
Oh, hey! Welcome to the People's Chat Room. How you doing, Mr. Jonathan Green?
Doing well. How are you?
I'm doing fine. You know, last night when I was trying to find you on FB to tag you, I realized that we are already friends. Did you know that?
I did know that.
You knew?
Yeah. Just from I always do my research. I saw that we were already friends in our contacts on Facebook.
I didn't even know that. I didn't have a clue. But, I was telling my sister up to this morning, I was like, man, I need an assistant that just can't afford to pay one just yet. But I got so much stuff going on upstairs here.
I understand.
You understand, right? So let me just say hi to some of the people that are tuning in on FB. One of my friends, Miss Susan Hunt, and we have a couple other people on there. Need to let you all know that we are also on iTunesRadio.com, which is a much larger audience, and I want to give props to the radio audience. And Jonathan, you may not have known this, but this show can be heard in repeat tomorrow, the recorded version, on islandbeatradio.net. So I know that you have an event that we're going to talk about, but let's talk a little bit about you first before we go into why I really invited you to come on today, which was to talk about voter intimidation, which is happening, So tell us a little bit more about you. Is it frozen? Can you hear me? I don't know. It looks frozen. Because
I think we lost him.
We lost him for a second. Okay, frozen. He just blinked. Okay,
yeah,
he's back. Okay. All right.
Did you hear the question?
Did you hear? Yeah.
I did not.
Okay, so the question is, tell us a little bit about you, and then we'll talk about voter intimidation, and then, of course, the event that you will be promoting. So let's just fill us in a little bit about you.
Well, my name is Jonathan Green. I'm with the J.GARRETT Green and Associates, LLC. Mm-hmm. And the purpose of my organization is for social justice advocacy. And I am a social justice strategist. So what I do is help people come up with plans for civic demonstration, as well as other events within the community, whether it be protests or other demonstrations, that kind of a thing.
Which part of Florida are you located? North Florida?
Pensacola. Yeah, Northwest Florida and Pensacola.
Oh, that's the Panhandle.
Yeah.
That's exactly where they got the voter intimidation going on. Did I guess correctly or not?
Oh yeah. Yeah, you pretty much hit the nail on the head because there's just maneuvers, even from the government, that from something as simple as putting drop boxes for ballots in a neighborhood that is in walking distance for people. That is something that should be done, but in Escambia County here is not done.
So, okay, when did you start the LLC, how long ago did you put that into, when was it created? Is it a couple years old? It's just recently within the past, month, year?
I've restructured it. It previously was J.GARRETT Green Center to Resolve, where I was also doing mediation as
We're losing him. We lost him.
Well,
We lost you for a second.
and I started, but also I have, prior to starting my LLC, I graduated from Southern University Law Center in Baton Rouge, and
okay.
Currently,
Wherever you are, wherever you are, Jonathan, wherever you are, the
root knowledge as opposed to.
So what we're seeing is the delay.
Wherever you are, the signal, the internet signal is kind of wonky. So the delay is really strong, and sometimes it freezes. But we're gonna keep going because this is very important. So you're a Louisiana boy.
Right on. No, I'm born and raised from Pensacola, Florida, but I went to law school in Louisiana.
Okay, so when you went to law school in Louisiana, that means that you had to transfer, or you had to take your. You had to sit for the bar here in Florida.
Well, I'm not licensed to practice in any state right now, and that's because I wanted to give people the knowledge before needing an attorney. I wanted people to be able to have a resource in the community without having to seek legal advice per se from a licensed attorney. Whereas they can get legal information, legal education, legal knowledge to be more informed citizens.
So you're the one that I need to ask this question of. So you know that the felons, ex-felons, were given the right to vote the last time we went to elections, which was like 2 years ago, roughly. They were given the right to vote, and then the Republicans came up with this scheme to kind of shut them down. And then within the past, I think, couple weeks, was that guy Bloomberg and John Legend, they all got the funding to pay for them to their restitution and their costs and all of that. And then, of course, the Republicans didn't like that, so they came up with another scheme to stop the ex-felons from voting. Where are we with that? Because I'm kind of lost now. Where are we? Can they vote, or it's still, they're still giving them a hard time?
6 or 9. Coming through now.
Right. There was a little lag. I know you were talking about the ex-felons, voting rights, and the fact that it's still being disenfranchised because they're essentially putting a poll tax on it. So I would predict that is going to go up to the Supreme Court. I know it went to the 11th Circuit Court of Appeal in Atlanta. The what I would view as a poll tax, but we'll see what the Supreme Court decides, and then that's going to be
You see, I was a little bit confused. I know
because Ruth Bader Ginsburg, we have a lot ahead of us.
We have a lag that we're dealing with, and I think it's pretty much on your side, but we're going to make it work here. See, the last that I heard, which was last week, is that they had acquired the funding. Huh?
If I can I was saying that the part that's going to really be hefty when it comes to voting rights, if that goes to the Supreme Court, which I would imagine it will, is the fact that Ruth Bader Ginsburg just died, and the fact that they're trying to push this nominee into the Supreme Court right now. And we see what they did to President Obama when he tried to get his nominee in before a certain window, I think 9 months before he was to leave office. And you see pretty much the same scenario happening, but the politics aren't being played out fair.
Well, that's typical.
And I did call in from my phone to see if I could get the.
Okay, that is the
outland mode.
Yeah, I allowed you in. Let's see if your phone
All right.
will give you a better signal.
Here we go. I will mute my.
Okay, so while we fixing that, let me just let everyone know who Jonathan is. Jonathan Garrett is a social justice advocate. He is based in Pensacola, Florida, and we're talking about voter intimidation and all the tricks that the Republicans always seem to come up with, to justify their BS. I want to say hi to Dr. Lynn Rollin, the best Saturday program. I'm telling you, right? And DJ Militia, Cheryl Suma, homie from Trinidad who now lives in the Barbados Island or Barbados. Blessings, my dear friend. Same to you, hon. So, do we have it?
Is that better, Jonathan?
Right.
Is that better, Jonathan?
Yeah, I think so. I called in from my phone.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, it's way better.
All right. It's gonna look different because people are like, oh, we got him twice.
Oh, yeah, that's his twin, right?
That's your twin.
That's his twin.
That's all right. We'll work with that.
So Jonathan, you see, let me go on my little platform a little bit for 5 seconds. So 2 minutes, 1 minute. So just this is your time to just listen to me rant for 1 minute. You see, the Republicans, I can't stand them because they are supposed to be the Christian party. They're the ones who go in a church every Sunday, Saturday, whatever. And they're always trying to disenfranchise the vote. And it's like, how could you hate people to the point where you just, okay, so that was me ranting, okay, Jonathan? So now I'll step back and we'll have our conversation. We'll continue the conversation, okay? Tell us about, so what you're saying to me, or to us, I should say, is that the Republicans continue to go at it with the ex-felons. And so that money that that Bloomberg and John Legend and those people that they found or that they paid, that is like the I don't know.
Well, that's going to be the money that's being paid for the felons is their restitution, so to speak. So they may have fines or fees associated with their incarceration. And or their probation, parole, whatever the case may be. And so before they're eligible to vote, they have to have those fees resolved. So essentially, what I was saying before is, in my opinion, I would consider that a poll tax. We will see this go to the Supreme Court. In my opinion, it will be likely, depending on who the next Supreme Court pick is, that could very well be a 50-50 shot how that is ruled. So that's going to be the importance of getting out to vote in this election, because it's not just the president we're voting for. We're talking about Supreme Court picks. We're talking about the head of the Department of Education, the head of the Department of Justice. You wonder why we don't have any cases being investigated properly by the Department of Justice and the FBI and Homeland Security as far as discrimination and racism in this country. Well, it's because our Department of Justice is over that. If we have to disband a police department or a sheriff's department, that happens through the Department of Justice. And without a president who will have a Department of Justice who will tackle those issues, that puts us at a hindrance.
You see, everything that you said there to me is common sense. And I guess people like you and I, we live in a world where we think common sense and in a common sense approach. And then we add everything else on top of that, like ice cream, sprinkles. Because for years, I mean, even when I was a student at UCF, I knew that the Supreme Court justices were in there for life. Some people didn't know that. And to me, that is basic common sense. If you don't know it, Google it. That's how I look at life, it never ceases to amaze me that every election in this country, with the exception of this election, there's so many registered voters, and this country, people coming out to vote was by far less than 50% or less than 75%. And I no longer tell people that people died to give you this right, because that goes in one ear, if at all, and it circles and it goes left. But now I think people are beginning to wake up and they're seeing how they're disenfranchising, they're intimidating, you know what I mean? So I know you have an event coming up. You
Right.
want to talk to us about that event, please?
Most definitely. On every Monday in November, so November 2nd through December 7th, and it's every Monday. It's the Know Your Rights seminar that will happen on Zoom. And with that, I want you to know your rights when engaged with law enforcement, what to say, what not to say, because there's some very important questions to ask when you're pulled over by law enforcement. And these seminars are in affiliation with Black Voters Matter. I'm a state affiliate with Black Voters Matter, and they are free to the public. The link to register is streetwise101.eventbrite.com.
Nice.
Streetwise101.eventbrite.com.
Correct.
And that's every Monday. There's a Zoom link.
In November.
What time on Monday? Every Monday in November.
That will be at 6 p.m. Central Time.
Oh yeah. Wait a second. See me North
That'll
Florida
be
is
7.
on a different time
That'll
zone
be
to us.
that'll be 7 p.m. Eastern.
So wait now. Question. So you're saying that you guys up in Pensacola are on a different time zone to us?
Yeah, we're on Central Time.
For real though?
Oh yeah.
That's how far west they are. Yeah, that's how far west they are. Okay.
Once you get a little past Tallahassee, we're on Central Time.
Okay, so let me say this. I've been in this country for over 30 years. I did not know that.
And I heard it's nice up there with the Panhandle. The Panhandle is
I
really
didn't
nice.
know
Yeah.
Well, the racism is real up here. I can say that.
Ooh, I like that. Reality check. Thank you. I know where and who to stop at what.
You see, because what you guys go through up there, we don't go through that down here in Central and
It's different.
Osceola.
It's different everywhere.
Yeah.
It's disguised differently, definitely. And that goes into I think that's kind of with the voter intimidation and for us to be aware of that kind of thing.
Wow. So when you talk about voter intimidation, even this seminar that you're doing every Monday night in November, you're all talking on the real because you guys, I mean, people up there experience it.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, I've experienced it myself.
For
I
real?
was unjustly arrested in January for a trumped up charge of trespass.
January of this year?
Yes. And but it's partly because of my advocacy work in which I do. You know, I have a target on myself.
Wow.
You know,
and
when
because of COVID, I'm still fighting it hard out in court.
Wow. You know, when he said that, you know where my mind immediately went to, you know, like decades ago when we had the freedom fighters going out to help people with the right to vote, and it was so segregated and they were going into the deepest parts of the South, and you had people being killed and lynched and all of that. And you see, and now you're hearing it from the horse's mouth that we have episodes like that still happening in the country. You know, there are parts of Florida. As a black person, I can't go. And that's right here in Lake County. They will tell you get out before 6. And that's right here in Lake County.
Sundown.
Yeah.
Sundown.
And I tell you, Jonathan, these people, they find a church every Sunday and they go in, they make the sign of the cross and they kneel down and they pray. What God they're praying to, I really don't know. But that's me again jumping on that.
Oh, please remember, the devil is an angel also, you know.
That's true. That is so. He was one of God's
top ranking.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, he was. He was. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Devil is an angel also. So yeah.
So let's talk a little bit more about voter intimidation, because we're going to give you as much time as we can, because our next guest is at 1:20. So we can give you at least, 5 or 6 more minutes. So the floor is yours. Whatever we did not discuss, please share it with us, because we have people listening, again, not just on FB, but also on the radio audience.
Most definitely. So thank you for bringing me first to even talk about this, because with the election coming up, this is very important information to know. So I actually just recently went to a training with Black Voters Matter about voter awareness and voter intimidation. So a lot of that information I just want to relay because, like I said, it's very important information to know. So one thing to know is that poll watchers. So a lot of people think they can show up and be a poll watcher the day of, and that's not necessarily the case. So the thing is, almost every state, and it varies by state, but almost every state requires poll watchers to be nominated by a political party, identified and approved before election day.
Will they have like a little? Would they have like a little? What you call that? Badge or something saying poll watcher? How are we supposed to know they're poll watchers?
You normally see them identified as such. They do have those little badges that have poll watcher type of a thing. So, and a poll watcher can challenge an individual's right to vote. However, it cannot be a direct approach to the voter. It has to be through reporting irregularities that they suspect. So once again, direct contact would be a form of voter intimidation. So Section 11 of the Voting Rights Act actually prohibits voter intimidation. So voter intimidation is illegal, just point blank period, by any person who tries to intimidate. And whether it be a state agent, a person who works for the government, or a citizen, that is against the law. So some examples of this intimidation do include direct confrontation, like I said, which could be raised voices or insulting or offensive, threatening language or symbols, dissemination of misleading information. And like the key takeaway from that, just to know voter intimidation is illegal. If somebody tries to say, oh, Democrats can't vote because it's a primary election, well, that's not true. Also, I do want to give out, there's a phone number if you feel that you are being or you're witnessing voter intimidation. It is 866 our vote, OURVOTE. So 866 our vote. And that is a group of lawyers, I believe, by the Legal Defense Fund, who are in pretty much every jurisdiction who can address issues of voter intimidation.
Okay, so let me ask you this question: so we know that you were arrested in January. Tell me what else you are seeing in Pensacola County that we're not seeing down here, that is a symbol or a symptom of things to come starting from tomorrow, because early voting starts on Monday. I'm sorry, not tomorrow, but Monday. What are you seeing that's a sign that, oh my goodness, they're gonna be pushing this?
Well, the thing is, we don't want to wait until November 3rd to vote. Because the thing is, if we wait, we know there will be errors, there will be long lines, there will be mechanical glitches, technological glitches, and whatever the case may be. We don't want to wait for that time. If we were to, if you do wait to vote on November 3rd, and there's a problem with your being able to vote, just know you can request a provisional ballot, and there are some requirements that go into that as far as proving your or not proving, but showing your identification down at the supervisor of elections or whatever your local voting office is. But essentially,
got your note sheet.
Just ensure you vote. Don't leave without voting. But the importance of it is vote before November 3rd during that early voting stage.
Which is what we have been encouraging weeks ago, right, Code? We've been telling people get out and vote. Don't wait until November 3rd. We've been stressing the fact that here in Florida, we have been blessed to have the 2 weeks early voting. And when they send you that information, they let you know when are the peak times when people come out, which is when they're coming home from work or when they're heading to work. So for at least 6 or 7 hours during the course of the day, or 5, or 6 or 7 hours or more, it's a lull. You can go in and it's almost like social distancing because the time frame between you and the next person coming in is like, you
Right.
know, so we need to make use of that. And like you just said, do not wait until November 3rd. Utilize early voting. Next week, Saturday, I would like to invite you to come back at least for 5 minutes to talk about the event that you're going to be doing every Monday of November, and let's see if we could get that going until, of course, November comes out. So you have an invitation to return next week, Saturday, okay?
Oh, thank you. I appreciate
For like
that.
6 minutes.
Yeah,
Just
no
to
problem.
push
I
that.
appreciate
So we will send you your link again and let you know what time you're going to come on, and that will be on the second hour of the show, not necessarily on the first hour. But thank you so much for being a guest. But let me just repeat the information that you gave, which is every Monday, Know Your Rights seminar. Every Monday, there will be a Zoom meeting, 6 o'clock Central Time, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And that link is streetwise101.eventbrite.com. We'll also put that information on there so that people, you know, when we share the Facebook link, we'll put it out there and I'll share it all through the rest of the week. And then when you come back on Saturday, you can, you know, push it again. Okay?
I definitely appreciate that. And thank you for having me on. And get out the vote, everyone.
Yeah, man. Get out and vote. And we appreciate you, Mr. Jonathan Green. Keep doing what you're doing. It takes a special person with courage to do what you're doing.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Right on.
Right on.
Saw you last night again in a vision, looking so lovely. Couldn't believe you took my breath away. Love that I'm feeling. I reach out to touch you, and then you were gonna get my friend. I hope we'll be lovers, maybe someday even more than friends. It's a love that I've got. Sparrows fly so high, straight to the mountain top. There is no turning back. The rivers run dry. My love will never trust me. Believe me, it's true. My love will never trust me. Believe me, it's true. My love will never die. My love will never die. Full moon tonight again, and I'm wanting you. Feel like romancing. Got my bedroom set for two. Just me and you will fly my magic carpet to the skies. I know you like it. I'll be a genie if you ask it. Just bring a lamp for now, we'll rub it, girl. Cause it's love that I've got. The sparrows fly so high, straight to the mountain top. No turning back. The rivers run dry. My love will never trust me. Believe me, it's true. My love will never trust me. Believe me, it's true. My love will never die. My love will never die. I reach out and touch you, and then you were gonna get my friend. I hope we'll be lovers, maybe someday even more than friends. Cause it's a love that I've got. Sparrows fly so high, straight to the mountain top. There is no turning back. The rivers run dry. My love will never trust me. Believe me, it's true. My love will never trust me. Believe me, it's true. My love will never die. My love will never die. Ooh, my love will never die.
All right. So that was our guest, one of our guests, Mr. Jonathan Green. I hope you all were listening, both on the live stream and, of course, on the radio. Voter intimidation isn't that something code that we take a lot for granted here in Central and Central Florida?
Not necessarily where you live. We literally take anything and everything for granted because it's not happening to us. But yeah, that's scary.
It is
That
scary.
is very, very scary. And
It
then,
is
and then
scary.
having trumped up charges as trespassing. You know, as he said, he had a target on his back. Oof.
I'm trying to edit the post and talk to you at the same time and have my brain. It's like,
Yeah.
Lord,
You're trying to walk backwards and stir a pot.
huh?
I know, right?
Oh God, wait. I'm trying to. Okay, so I'm going to have to do this next time. Listen, so our second guest is the Woof Roof man himself,
The
Mr.
who? The woof woof? Oh, wait. Wait. Okay. All right. You know, the thing, I actually got it.
You did?
Yeah, I did. That's the bad part.
Oh, God. So I'm trying to type and okay. So Mr. Anslem Douglas is our second guest, and we're gonna have him on in about, I don't know, a couple minutes. So
I think he should be coming in about 3 minutes.
yeah, something like that.
Something like that.
I'm hoping that we don't have the same problem because
hoping.
with Jonathan, he was because you sent it to him via.
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
I believe the internet or the network that he was using, unfortunately. But Jonathan was very savvy enough to know that he also had Zoom on he had Zoom on his phone.
He's probably a millennial.
Well, he probably. He was just savvy, you know. You gotta get a man the props, regardless of what year
Okay,
he
Jonathan,
born.
we give you props. You're
I
a
know what you-
millennial and you're also savvy. A 2-4.
A 241. Yeah, a 241. All right.
So we waited for Mr. Anselm Douglas to call in. In the meantime, let me go ahead and edit this post here. We want you to please tell everyone about the show, the People's Chat Room, because we got it going on. You know what I'm saying? We should have gotten some of the money from the Democratic campaign. I just didn't think about it until the last minute, but so that we could have aired some of the information, because we've been pushing this shit since. Did I cuss? No, I didn't cuss, right? Too late for that, right? Because I say it every
I
Saturday.
don't understand.
We've been pushing the consciousness for months now. We encourage you. You know what? Now is a good time to play the second part of that. What you may call it, that video
Oh,
with
man.
Reverend Dr. Howard John Wesley. I'm not going to mention the name of the radio station again, but those of you that hear the clip will automatically know where it came from. And it raises your consciousness. Those of you that, you weren't woke before, well, you should be woke by now, because our rights are being taken away from
Okay.
us.
Hold on, Hold on.
And,
Hold on.
Okay, so he's lining it up. In
Yeah,
the meantime,
because-
it's Reverend Dr. Howard John Wesley. We only ask you to vote every 2 years for the primaries or every 4 years for the presidential election. It's not like it's something you have to go out and do every day. Okay, it's every 2 to 4 years. You know what I'm saying? And it's just a couple hours, if so much. Could be even less than half an hour of your time. If you live close to the polling station, its drive time might be like 5 minutes. You vote, you go back home. That's roughly less than half an hour. You know what I'm saying? That's all it's going to take. You know what I mean? So let's...
Ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. Here we go.
A 198 judges. 198 judges. And not one is black. So when you don't vote, you don't determine who stands at trial. When you don't vote, you don't get to sit in the jury and determine the fate of those in trial. When you don't vote, you don't get to help determine the judge that sits on the bench. So don't tell me you out here hollering Black Lives Matter if you don't vote. Black lives don't matter to you if you don't vote. Don't tell me you're mad that Daniel Cameron has not indicted the police officers who killed Breonna Taylor if you don't vote, because you ain't got nothing to do with it. How dare you not vote? When we don't vote, we dismiss ourselves from being part of leveling the playing field of justice in the United States of America. 198 judges, and not one is black.
Okay. Tell me. Seriously? Did you all even know that? I mean, okay, so you just found out that we have ANSLEM in the waiting room and we're going to bring him on just now. How many of you didn't know that the Supreme Court justice was for life? And those suckers will either have to retire or dead in it. How many of you knew that? This man has been in power for 4 blinking years. 198 judges and not one is black. Not one. So like Reverend Howard John Wesley said, don't be talking about Black Lives Matter and your ass ain't getting out to vote. Your ass didn't even register to vote. You know? Find a corner, sit down, shut up, go kick rocks while you're heading to the corner. All right? So I'll breathe now, I'll exhale, and I'll inhale, and then we'll make room for ANSLEM!
Good afternoon, sir. Can you hear us?
I can hear you loud and clear, man.
Nice.
We can hear you loud and clear too. Let me just say hi to some of our friends here. Dakari, my 2 favorite people, laugh out loud. Good afternoon. Hi, sweetheart. Julian G.I. Trini Litlat. Tricky Finger, hello. How y'all doing? And Dr. Lane Rollin, hi again. DJ Militia, hello. And we have on the People's Chat Room, and I got to give enough respect to Noreen. Noreen is the one that hooked up this interview. So I suggest you fire your manager and you hire Noreen. I'm just saying.
I hope you have court closed, you know. I hope you have court closed.
Oh, good. Well, you're dangerous today, boy.
Oh, God. Hey, here now. ANSLEM, how you doing, my brother?
I'm good. I'm blessed. And I'm growing from strength to strength. You know? Every day.
I got to try and remember when you were on. I have it written down here because you were on the People's Chat Room. Back then, it was the Ladies' Chat Room. And you were our guest. I'm going to find the date because I have it in here. And that was, I think, in the 1st or 2nd year that we were on. I'll find it. I should have found it before you came on. But we know you're also primarily on here to promote a new single because this is Domestic Violence Month.
Yes, it is. Yes.
And we are also going to play some of your music, which I know you sent to Code. Mm-hmm. So I think the first song we should go with is the new song.
Which one?
And then we'll talk about... ANSLEM, what's the name of the new song? I listened to it.
Is, Break That Cycle.
Break That Cycle.
That cycle of domestic violence, yeah.
It's a pretty song.
All right.
Lyrically and melodically. You know, so we're going to play it. And then we'll talk about the song and just talk about what's going on with you, where you've been. You know, I refer to you as the roof.
Where you from?
The roof man.
Ready?
Yeah.
She shudders each time he tries to touch her face. See the tears roll down. For so long she has been treated like this. Still no place to run. And he tells her it's your fault. You make me do these things, but I love you in spite of. And that's the reason why I'm staying. And you should be glad to have someone like me. Although at times I could be rough, but it's because I love you, can't you see? Oh girl, now go get yourself cleaned up. Oh, break that cycle, break it. Let the buck stop here, break that cycle, break it. Send a message loud and clear, break that cycle, break it. Let the love begin at home. Break that cycle. Break it. To stand with you, you're not alone. The kids, so small but hurting deep inside. They so sad and blue. It's hard, but somehow they manage to hide the pain you put them through. Look, she's all dressed and ready. The sunglasses hide her eyes, but she's hurting immensely as she wears a painted smile. Everyone knows, but still nobody cares, so they feel so all alone. A beautiful house, but only filled with tears. A house, but not a home. Oh, break that cycle, break it. Let the buck stop here. Break that cycle, break it. Send a message loud and clear. Break that cycle, break it. Let the love begin at home. Break that cycle, break it. I stand with you, you're not alone. Now youth is gone in the twinkling of an eye. Kids all grown somehow. Those years, how quickly they all just slipped by. The nightmare's over now. Now he's aged and aged badly, and he needs someone to care. No loved ones, no family. Sadly, there is no one there. She has moved on, and yes, she's found someone who treats her like a queen. When she feels weak, he knows to make her strong. Finally, her life's a dream. Oh, break that cycle, break it. Let the buck stop here. Break that cycle, break it. Send a message loud and clear. Break that cycle, break it. Let the love begin at home. Break that cycle, break it. I stand with you, you're not alone.
Okay, so you gotta know, very rare do I say let the whole song play.
Well, thank you for that.
Normally we fade it, you know how we do. On the radio,
Yeah.
you fade it after like a verse or chorus, and you start to talk. But lyrically, it's a beautiful song. Melodically, it's pretty. I'm a sucker for sweet chord changes. I love the acoustic vibe in it. Also, now I get to ask you, how much of that was you, or how much of that was someone that you knew?
But the story of the song or the arrangement of the song?
No, just the song, just the story. Okay, the story of the
The
song.
song, the story of the song, well, in growing up as a young man in Pond Street, Laramie, where I was born and bred, it was not uncommon to see a man beating a woman. It was not uncommon. But to hear of a man, physically abusing a woman, and this is not something that would happen only behind closed doors in the privacy of your home. This is something that would take place on the corner by the standpipe. It was just very commonplace. It's not unheard of. And back then, and even quite recently, when a report was made to the police, you would hear the police would say something like, that is husband and wife business, or that is domestic business. You get involved in that. So it was taken very lightly, with one human being taking physical advantage on the other. And usually the male, I'm not saying that we have women who physically abuse men, it happens too. But because of ego and stuff, you don't hear a lot about it. But mostly what we know is men beating women, physically taking advantage of women. And I grew up knowing that, and I thought it was something that it's just not normal. It was almost a norms, but to me it wasn't normal to see another human being punch somebody in the eye and then next morning tell you, girl, you see what you make me do, I love you. And in those days, a lot of times the woman was so dependent on the man for income and for a shelter over your head and food for the children, that she would stick it out. You know, even look, I say, girl, leave that man, leave and go where? So she usually just stick it out. And sometimes those situations end in death or in serious injury, you know. So I just decided, you know, I'm going to make this my platform as an artist, you know.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let me say hi to a couple people that have tuned in, and of course, one of them is Noreen Coutain, who again was instrumental in you being on the show today. It would have happened anyway, but it happened sooner with Noreen.
Noreen,
And
yeah. Thank you, Noreen.
my sister Joan, and this thing just keep doing its own thing here, and Phyllis Worrell. So you were on the show on August 9th, 2014, which was a couple months after. The show started on March 2nd, 2014. So you were in our first year a couple months later. So thanks for being on the show then. And of course, thanks for being on the show now. And one of the things that, before we get back into the conversation of domestic violence, one of the things that Noreen asked me, and I'm going to put it out there. We were on a show together. You remember when Kenny Phillips arranged that show years and years ago? I was already living here, and he said, you know, why not do a show? And it was me and you in a restaurant somewhere in, on Prince of Wales Street, I think, in San Fernando. Hillary Sargent was in the audience. Yeah, we had some fun.
The name of that place was, I'm trying to remember the name of the place, right on the corner of Prince of Wales and Sutton Street.
Yeah, I don't know if it's still in existence.
Rushwood Street. Prince of Wales and Rushwood Street, right on the corner there.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, I can't remember the name of that place.
I can't remember.
But
it was
Kenny and what's his name? The panist.
I can't remember.
Yeah, I remember that. That was a nice show.
It was a nice show. I was very, very shy because it was my first performance being back from Trinidad. And after that, the second and only time that I performed was at Kaiso Blues Cafe a couple years ago, Carly's place in on Woodbrook Street.
Yeah, but you know they've since moved, right? They've moved down to Ricing Road now. Yeah.
Oh, they're on Ricing Road now. Oh no, I didn't know that. Yeah. But you said with regards to domestic violence, that is that's a cause that you're pushing now. I think is a very good one because even back then, it was a feather in the man's cap to be knocking the woman around.
Exactly.
And to me, it was almost like a Caribbean thing, which is how we looked at it back then. But now being here, you realize that, okay, it's happening here too. It's happening a whole lot in the Latinx culture. It's a machismo kind of thing. And, you know, the woman is a cycle. You're right. Yeah. They beat them up, then say, okay, look at what you made me do. Then they love up on them for like a couple of days, and then it starts all over again.
And then it starts all over again. You know, if you come back home, I promise I will change. And, you know, come back home, you know, the children miss you and all that stuff. And I don't know if you remember Calypso by Lord Nelson. Calypso / Soca by Lord Nelson. We Like It.
Yeah.
Where you talk about it is not uncommon to see. Yeah. It is not uncommon to see man beating woman or woman horning husband to mind she's sweet man. So it became, it's kind of fit into that whole kind of cult. It was almost cultural and accepted that a man could slap around his woman, and we like it. You know, we like to drink in white top, you know. We like to walk and shake up. We like it. Yeah.
But before we asked Code to look for that one by Nelson, but before we even play that, I think we should also start. I don't know what you sent for Code, so you know what you sent for Code, so you pick or he pick, because you have a large library of music.
I just sent a few songs for him. I can't remember it because, you know, I was just sending material.
Yes, you sent me, and unfortunately, Waiting in Vain is not playing properly for me, so I do apologize for that.
Hold up. Is that Waiting in Vain from Bob Marley?
No, well, I don't know.
Because with this, the thing is, because we're on Facebook right now, we don't want them to mute us.
Yes, so I can.
So we're not going to play that one.
Unfortunately. And you sent me Freight Train.
Freight Train. Yeah, that's a song I released last summer.
Okay.
That would have been summer of 2019. Yeah, because we didn't have a summer this year with COVID.
Yeah, we ain't got no summer. We got nothing with COVID.
So we will get to Freight Train, but since you all call my name, I am going to play one of my favorite songs from you.
Okay, cool.
All right.
Who?
no woof woof yet. No, it's not woof woof. But you know, that's a whole, we go get to that.
Can I make an idle guess as to what song that would be?
Please do, sir. Indulge me.
I am guessing one out of two songs. It's either Who the Hell is Kim or Too Sweet.
Nah.
Okay. Okay, all right. I'm sorry.
Okay. Why you like this song so much, man?
I don't. Well, it bring out the jumbie in me. This song, it is bring out the jumbie in me. When I dead, bury me whole. Don't just put everything in the coffin I come with.
Okay. So I am guilty. I thought it was When I Dead, Bury My Clothes.
That is what it is. That is what it is. When I dead, bury my clothes.
Bury my clothes. Give
So
me everything.
What he get when I dead, bury my whole?
Bury my whole. Give me everything. I want everything. My clothes.
I'll tell you something. Over the years, I have heard so many interpretations. And I don't think my diction in singing is so bad, but I think the Indians have a way that they just add whatever they want. Because I've heard people say, when I dead, bury my stove. I don't want to want a man cook by me.
Oh God!
Bury my stove.
Oh God! Oh, I like that one. Oh God!
All right, so
I want how we
give me the little history on that one.
Yes, sir. Please.
I will tell you something. When I started off to write this song, I was already living in Toronto, Canada. And when I started off to write this song, my intention was to write a song based on Rubber Talk. You know Rubber Talk, the Bajan Talk.
Yes.
You know, Midnight Rubber Talk,
yes.
Right? But the bounce of that, that's an art form in itself, you know.
It is.
When you look at these fellas doing this Rubber Talk, not anybody could do that. The flow, the attitude, the rhyme, it's an art form in itself, and no matter how I try to get it, I could not get it. I could not get it. So I called a friend in Trinidad, and I said, put me on to anybody you know who into Rubber Talk, so I could talk with them, interview them. Because I like when I'm writing something, especially something that has nostalgic property and historic value, I want to make sure that I am on point, So I called around, and I couldn't get it. So I started to write, and then I started to write a song on stick fight. Mm-hmm. Because stick fighting is another one of the art forms that, transcend the boundaries of time, because it came off the ship onto the plantation, and it's here still today. Mm-hmm. So when I wrote the song, I needed a chorus, and I had, for each verse of this song, I had a different chorus. And I'll give you a little hint on the choruses. The first chorus would have been, When I Dead, Bury My Clothes. The second chorus was going to be, Alligator Gall is Poison. The third chorus was going to be, so the other one, Alligator Gall is poison, Alligator Gall. All these stick fight songs. The other one would have been, Mooma, your son in the grave already. Your son in the grave already. Take a cowbell and burn your belly. So that was Behave yourself. All right? People watching your girl. What's wrong with you?
Nothing wrong with that. What they see is what they get. Yeah, man.
But when I took the song to Carl Beaver Henderson, who's the producer of it, when I took the song to him, he said, Anselm, you have a massive hit here. Mm-hmm. The only problem is people wait for the chorus of the song to sing. So anytime you change your chorus, now people going to be thinking, I wonder what chorus coming here now. So he said, out of all these choruses, choose one stick fight song. So what happened is I wrote all 4 verses, and I chose that song when I dead bury my clothes, which is the same melody for Fire Brigade, Water the Road. Water, same melody, right? Right.
Okay. Okay. Hold up.
The network.
The network acting kind of funky right now. Just now. Keep talking though. Keep talking.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, that particular song, I chose that one. Mm-hmm. So I did some research on it, and I realized that Growling Tiger had recorded that song. So when I went into the archives, I realized, oh, he just recorded the same chorus I'm going to use, because he couldn't record what I wrote, because what I wrote was original verses for a chorus. So I took a chorus and built verses around it, and I just inserted the chorus, and because of the nostalgia of it, people held on to it and let's keep running with it. And that song now was recorded for Carnival 1997.
All the way back then.
So we're looking at that song is what, 23 years old?
Yeah, boy.
Well, I have a friend, we went to school together. She's saying, Lima, all these years I thought was Bury My Soul. So you see, everybody got their own. Everybody got their own.
Hold on. You did different choruses when you originally wrote it. The producer changed it, and the country and whoever loved it did exactly what you did, put their own spin on different choruses on that song. So everybody have something different to sing.
Oh, yeah. So big up to Carl Beaver Henderson.
Okay.
For bringing such a brilliant suggestion as a producer to choose one chorus, and that's where we are now. Yeah.
So you mentioned Carl Beaver Henderson, so let's throw out some of the names from back then too that are still there. We've got Leston Paul.
Yeah, I worked with him also.
Right, because Leston...
In fact, Leston Paul was the producer of Raga Pum Pum. He was the producer of Raga Pum Pum.
Another one there. Raga Pum Pum boy.
Sorry. Relax now. Oh, God. Relax now. Jeez.
ANSLEM, man, you got a whole barrel of hits.
A barrel of tune.
A barrel of tune. Maybe Noreen, I know she listening. Noreen, maybe you and I, we need to manage him, right, Noreen? She ain't gonna say nothing. Let me hear what she's gonna say to that. Hey, Merlene, how you doing? Maybe, yeah. I think we really need to fire that manager of yours. I'm just.
Noreen, don't say anything.
Noreen, say something. Raga boom boy. Hey, Keisha.
Cause raga rule, now sing. Raga boom boom, raga. Rude girls and boys, make some noise. Rude girls and boys, make some noise. Let me sing. Everybody, put your hand in the air. Everybody, oh, raga boom boom, raga boom boom, boy.
Behave yourself.
Some dancing, some whining.
ANSLEM.
Leston Paul was one of the producers that I did a lot of work with. And if I call songs, we're going to start to play songs and any time will run out.
No. Call song now, because anyhow you take it, we're going to go right back to the first song that is the abuse song, which highlights domestic violence. Mm-hmm. But we want to have some fun too. Domestic violence is
it's serious.
Serious. Yeah.
So me and Leston, we did another big song back in the day when I was with Atlantic called Good Music to Dance. I don't know if you remember that song.
Okay.
Yeah, good music to dance. Yes, nice music to prance. Tempo for loving up. Rhythm.
I know that. I don't think. Okay, he's searching in the treasure.
Well, hold on.
He's searching in the box.
Because it was Was it sung by Lesson Paul?
No, he
No, no,
sing
no, no.
it.
I know
It was
he sing it,
produced by Lester.
but was it actually, because sometimes
Oh, I
if
see
you're
what-
part of
I
a
see.
band, yeah.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah, so
Noreen
that
is
would have been
saying,
with Atlantic. Atlantic
oh,
1992.
okay. So let me read what Noreen says. She says, I am unhireable, but that manager needs to showcase this talent much more. He sure does. So we could co-manage. I seen that, like, if I have a ton load of time. What is it?
You have court clothes. You have to have a very navy blue kind of outfit for court. They say blue is a common color for the court.
You see how he going there? Okay, the manager could keep the job. Keisha Bradshaw, how you doing, girl?
I also worked with a gentleman by the name of Kenny Phillips, who you just mentioned.
You know, Kenny and I go way, way back. Kenny is the one that brought me into Chandelier.
Okay.
Yeah.
Kenny was guitarist with Chandelier back in the day.
Because back in the day, Jimmy Brown and I were really, really close. And the first time that Kenny and I actually sat down and did a song together, just fooling around with it, was one of Jimmy's songs. We never actually recorded it, but we should, because it's a pretty song. Maybe you and I could do it.
Okay, sounds like a plan.
It's never been recorded. And I'm thinking Kenny would want piece of that action too, because he's familiar with the song also. So we'll talk about that, okay?
Kenny, the song that Kenny did, the big song that Kenny did for me was a song called Jump and Mash Up the Party. Everybody jump and mash up the party. That was a hero. You guys were young, you wouldn't remember that.
You mean he? There's a baby right here now. And that one on the floor, that's my son. Well, he's a real baby. But this is, he gonna know that. When you call that song ANSLEM, he was like, shh. He trying to...
Yeah.
I hate not having music. I really do. I hate it.
Okay, well, I'll tell you what. Let's make it easy for you. Pick one that you already have, and then we'll go back to the abuse song.
So, I have to play Doggy. I have to play your Roof song last.
We could only play a little bit of that, because remember, we're on FB and that song is highly commercial, and they're gonna mute our ass.
Yeah, God, man.
I'm just keeping it real.
Which song is that? Who Let
the dogs out? Yeah.
No, but that's my song. That's my song. You can do my version of it. That's my song.
But I still vex with you, right? Me and millions of other people.
I'm gonna mute you in a second. Don't go there.
You can't be vexed with me. Like I tell, okay, see that we on it.
Highlight that. Yes.
See that we on it. Let's go on it one time. A lot of people didn't understand what transpired with the song, because let me call a song for you. A song that the whole world knows. Do you know a song? I'm going to sing it for you, because we're nearing the season. Have yourselves a merry little Christmas. Let your heart be light. Right? You know that song? The whole world knows that song.
Yes.
Who's the writer of that song?
I don't know.
Exactly, but he's making money, right?
Right.
Because the more cover versions you have of your work, is the more money you make. I think what happened with West Indians, we became very territorial with the music. And it was the first time, since after Hot, 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 was the first time someone else took one of the songs from the Caribbean and did a cover version of it, and it went viral. I mean, the song was in at least 6 major movies, translated into so many different languages and so many advertisements, sold over 5 million copies, So when you have a song that you wrote that went platinum, double platinum, triple platinum, multi-platinum, it could never be bad for the songwriter. And it was an arrangement made between my publishers and the Baha Men.
Okay.
It was, but people say, they thief your song. No, in truth and in fact, you can't really thief a song yet. You really can't thief a song. And you can't sell a song. That's another thing people have.
See, we thought you sold the song. And I know we had talked about that in 2014.
In fact, you can't sell a song. You cannot sell a song. Intellectual property is not for sale.
Okay.
Because if you buy my house from me, it's your house. And it's your house. You could tell anybody this is your house because you bought it. But when it's intellectual property, you could pay money, but you could never say it's yours because it didn't come from your imagination, from your creativity. So that's why intellectual property cannot be sold. Now, I could write a song and you say, Anselm, I like that song. Let me pay you for it. What you're really paying for is the first rights to record the song.
Okay.
But you didn't buy the song. You buy the first rights or the rights to record it. So when somebody gives you money for a piece of work, they didn't buy it. You know, I can't go and buy what's his name? this great playwright from back in the day. What's his name?
I don't know.
Oh, come on! We all did his plays in school and all of that. Shakespeare, yeah, God, Shakespeare wouldn't even come to me. There's no way I could go and buy Shakespeare work and say it's mine. It will never be mine. I didn't write it. I could buy the rights to it to put it in a movie, you know. But
so what you're actually saying is that you still own the song per se. They just bought the use of the song.
Right. What happened is with a song has different parts. So when you have a song, you have what you call the publisher's publishing, and you have the writer's publishing. Right? Mm-hmm. So the publisher, he makes his money as the publisher. Mm-hmm. So it's 200% to make 100%, if that makes sense.
Yes.
100% publisher's publishing, 100% writer's publishing. And as the writer of the song, you could determine how much of the publisher's publishing you want to give up also. So I wrote the song, you the publisher, you come to me and say, Anselm, I like that song you have called Jump and Wave. I'm just saying, right? Mm-hmm. I'm interested in the publishing. I could tell you, well, I'll give up 50% of the publishing, but I'll hold 50% of your publishing, of the publisher's publishing, 100% of the writer's publishing. So I own 150% of the song, while you own as the publisher 50%. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I don't know if that helped clear up some
It helped clear up a whole lot. So with that being said, how much of the song they own?
The publishers own, I gave up 100% of the publisher's publishing and maintained 100% of the writer's publishing.
Okay. So, I have a friend here, Cheryl. She said, Lima, you all forgetting Who Let the Dogs Out, my all-time favorite. No, we didn't forget it, Cheryl. So is that what we're talking about right now? So we're going and play his version of Who Let the Dogs Out that everybody prefers. And yes, we as West Indians, we are territorial. Right. Yes, we're territorial when it's someone that we know, we love, we own. All right? Yeah, you can juve all over the place, but you belong to us.
But I belong.
I belong. Yes. You recognize?
I have a home.
But one thing, sir, you really hit the nail on the head that we are very territorial. We are. From our music, from our pan to our carnival to our speech to
we
our
ain't shame
food.
Either. We okay being territorial. Let me speak for myself.
Yeah, okay. See this? Yeah, very territorial. Very, very. Ding. If you Google it, her name will come up on
my name, my face will come up. So you had that one line up.
Of course. You ready?
You ready?
Ready.
You have no behavior whatsoever, boy. No.
I know.
Okay, so hey, Anselm, my I don't know, when I reach a certain age, my whole thing is I gonna have a good time wherever. I don't care who watching.
Yeah.
I just all up inside me. So
I know it might have children listening in, but as the old people say, nobody could cut you. Nobody can cut your tail.
Nobody can cut my tail. Let me just say hi to Victoria Sayedin Vic and Norina
This
Sin.
is Victoria from Toronto?
No, Victorious is from Miami, but he has produced a couple songs for certain. He's a producer you should probably get in touch with. So I'll send you his phone number.
Okay.
And because he is on the cutting edge.
He's pretty good.
Yeah, he's pretty good.
I would tell
Vic,
you that,
don't
but
let
I
that
wouldn't.
go to your head, all right?
I would tell you
good.
that, but I wouldn't tell him that.
Well, he hearing you know that, right?
I don't care. I don't like Vic.
Noreen is saying, she said, I remember exactly where I was when I heard the cover for the first time. I said, why are they spoiling the song? I said the same thing too. They just took your song and did whatever. But you know what? You still have 100%. So we good. Thanks for clearing that up,
Indeed. Yeah.
So let's go back to the original reason why you're here today. So we're gonna play a little piece of the song now because we played most of it. And again, ladies and gentlemen, October is the month for domestic violence as well as breast cancer awareness. And this is a new song that ANSLEM did that highlights domestic violence awareness.
She shudders each time he tries to touch her face. See the tears roll down. For so long she has been treated like this. There's still no place to run. And he tells her it's your fault. You make me do these things, but I love you in spite of. And that's the reason why I'm staying. And you should be glad to have someone like me. Although at times I could be rough, but it's because I love you, can't you see? Oh girl, now go get yourself cleaned up. Oh, break that cycle, break it. Let the buck stop here. Break that cycle, break it. Send a message loud and clear. Break that cycle, break it. Let the love begin at home. Break that cycle.
Okay, ANSLEM, let me ask a couple questions that I didn't ask at the beginning. I believe you probably wrote the song, right?
If I did, yes.
The music, I need to know who's the back.
The production was done by Michael Boothman.
Michael Boothman?
Yeah, and that guitar in the back there, that's all Michael. Production was done by Michael Boothman. Great job.
He's in New York or something like that, right?
Oh, he's in Trinidad. He's in Trinidad.
Background vocals, because I'm a vocalist. I want to know who's down the vocal.
You know what? I wasn't in the studio when they did the background vocals, so I don't know. But I think it's two people from church who came and did it, guy and a girl. But honestly, I don't know.
I liked it, and just remember, I also sing too. So sometimes when
I'm hearing you pulling some wonderful harmonies there, man.
But Hannah, the thing is, I know a lot of people don't know that I sing, and some people like you, of course, you know that. Don't say anything good. But I still every now and then I'm called in to do some background vocals on songs. And yes, I have a reggae jazz that I'm supposedly working on. We'll release it whenever I go into the studio to do it, so it's coming. But I love it. I love the blend of acoustic and nice chord changes. Bottom line here, I just love it. I love how it flows.
And the tones that he used, the tones and the instruments that he used, just brings you right down to, I need to listen. It just does that. I need to listen, and it just brings you into that place. And I think he did an amazing job.
He did an amazing job. Where are you? Are you in Trinidad right now? We know Z.
No, I'm in New York.
You're in New York. Why Michael? Why not someone else? What led you to Michael?
To be honest, I have another song called Abuse. I have another song called Abuse. I'd email it to your DJ that it's a month, so you could find a little space and
But that's what Noreen was referring to. She was asking, what about Abuse? But I thought this was the song she was referring to. So, hey, God Sinclair. God is saying, oh, bro. God, right, Sinclair?
Sinclair, of course.
Yeah, he said he's hollering you out. He said, long time no see.
Yeah, man. What's up, my brother?
Yeah. Chicky
I know
finger.
I know God's about 100 years.
100 years, that makes you guys what? That makes you guys 150? I'm just saying.
About that, yeah, about
I'm
that.
still 25, so
Oh, you're dangerous today, boy.
I ain't dangerous.
Dangerous
He started it.
You're dangerous today.
He started it.
No.
You got it?
No, not, unfortunately, no. I wasn't given that one.
He wasn't given that one.
Okay,
You didn't.
it's another song. It's another song that I wrote a few years ago on abuse. Also, the name of the song is Abuse.
The name of the song is Abuse.
Yeah.
You don't have it at all. Okay, so we don't have it. So you know what's a good thing? That song by what call it, Lord Nelson.
Yes.
Can you just play that a little bit, because it goes hand in hand also, because it's only when you raise that you brought awareness to it. I didn't really think of the tie-in between your song and that song from Nelson.
Yeah, it's so commonplace, you know. And I remember when I went.
You're going in and out again. The
different
audio,
cultures, you know.
the audio is kind of
Oh,
funky
I'm sorry.
again.
I'm sorry.
Okay, keep talking. Let's see.
Yeah, I remember when I first went to Canada. This was in the early 90s, and I was in shock when I saw the amount of women walking on the street smoking. You know, because you're coming from a place like Trinidad, that is not something that you see. That's not common. It's not commonplace. I mean, you have women who smoke, but I'm talking about the average woman walking on the road smoking cigarettes in Canada. It was like, whoa, it was a shock to me. So I think when you look at a place like Trinidad, there was a time, and we're now breaking out of that negative cultural stuff, where it was normal for a man to beat up a woman. It was cool. A man used to boast about that man, I put some lash and she saw so last night. He used to boast about it.
Yeah, I remember hearing things like that. Yeah.
You know, a man go in the rum shop and he sit down and say, I go on home, the woman I cook no food, she took coffee in she head. You know, and them fellas laugh at that. You know. And it's a kicks thing. But when you look at it, it's another human being that feels pain and feel hurt. And you wouldn't want anybody to do that to your daughter or your granddaughter or your little niece or something. So why do it to somebody else's child?
Why do it to somebody else?
And then turn around and say, I love you. You know?
It doesn't, the two don't go together, you know?
Yeah.
So you found it?
Of course.
We're going to listen to this one by Nelson that kind of juxtaposes with the theme of abuse, at least that part of the song. And then we'll come back and wrap up the interview.
Let's get together. They say it's no crime to shake we behind. We're still in with prime, so let we have a good time. We like it. It's West Indian culture. We like it. We like it with plenty mixture. A little wine, little grind, little jump, little hump, little roll up your bum bum. A little prance, little dance, little ram, little jam, little roll up your bum bum. Little wine, little grind, little jump, little hump, little roll up your bum bum. Little prance, little dance, little ram, little jam, little roll up your bum bum. We like it. We like when weekend commence. We like it. We like we jamming hardest. To see man beating woman is not uncommon.
Only when you said it is when I remembered that line was in there.
No need to go no further than that. Wow.
And by
See,
the
man
way,
beating woman is not uncommon.
not uncommon.
A woman horning she husband to mind
Mind
she
she
sweet man. We like it.
We like it. God Sinclair says that we are doing a program next Sunday, Please God, on DV. Send your track so we can feature it. So we will forward it, and then you have his information, right? No? Don't worry, I'll go send it to you.
Send it to me.
I'll send it to you.
Go fix up.
Okay, I'll send it to you. So you
So
could send the 2 tracks.
God would be a little more fortunate than you guys because he'll have the 2 abuse songs.
You see that ain't right?
That's all right.
That ain't right.
That's all right.
That
That
ain't
ain't
right.
right. But it's all right.
But you
It's
know,
all right.
Always improvement.
you have my number. I have your number. I thought I had your number, but I think I had the Canadian number. And
Okay.
And now we're here at this point, and we'll stay in touch because we always say we can say suka, so you can come back anytime you want to. Okay.
Thank you
We
so
good?
very much. Before you go up, though, before you run away, I just want to mention to the listening public that I have a book that was released last June.
How
It's a
come you're not
children's
talking
book.
about that?
You didn't ask him.
Don't worry about it, because we was talking about abuse.
You didn't ask him.
All right, so the 2 are ganging up on me now. That's how we're doing this. All right, we're listening.
You know, you could see about 14 things at the same time because I have anything by your mouth to really talk about things.
That's true, you know.
God
That's
make it
true.
so.
That's true. That's true. That's true.
God make it so. Yeah. So I have this book. It's called The Adventures of Spin and Scratch. It's a children's book. The age demographic that we're catering for it's 9 to 11. It's a really, really good story. I think who's ever out there listening, all the folks listening, you should check it out online. It's on Amazon. It's on Barnes and Nobles. It's in all the online stores. And I'll give you a quick thing about the story. The story is about 2 American mice who, out of unforeseen circumstances, had to pack up and move to Trinidad. And these 2 American mice end up living in a house in Trinidad with some Trinidad mice. So
What's the name, mate? What's the name, mate? Spin and Scratch?
The Adventures of Spin and Scratch.
I want to read that. Just not for no child. Like just for my own enjoyment. I would read it.
It's so
The Adventures of Spin and Scratch. And I have just quite recently finished the part 2, the sequel to it, which is not ready for publishing yet. But I mean, the heavy lifting, the hard writing, that's done. I was just to chapterize it and, design cover, book cover, and all that kind of stuff. So, but we're not really doing a big push on the sequel yet. We want to get this one out there and let people know. I'm looking for the support of the Caribbean people. We all have children, grandchildren, great-grandchildren, some of us. So it would really mean a lot to me for my friends, fans, and family and followers and all the other F words who've been following. Well, I said friends, fans, family. If I think hard, I might come up with another F word.
I already come up with one. I just can't say it on
I'm
here.
about to mute you just now if you keep going.
So, at the Adventures of
I
Spin
said-
and Scratch. I like that. It sounds funny,
I
right?
do.
And it's from
What I said-
9 to 11 years old children that
Yeah.
fall in that cat. Okay.
But buy it, and I know your mind went somewhere dirty, but I said friends, fans, family. Another F word could be followers, that kind of stuff. Man.
Okay.
So yeah, so it would mean a lot to me if you guys go out and make a purchase, and get this on the New York Children's bestseller. That'd be an amazing thing.
Noreen, of course, is listening to everything, and she's like, I told you about the book, Lima. Noreen, you know me. You know my brain is like a sieve sometimes. So maybe you told me about it, but I'm retaining it now. And my sister wants to know how much it is. I don't know, but it's on Amazon, on any platform that you can purchase a book. So we will, I will look for it so I could get the link, and I will share it sometime this evening or something like that, because we want you to do well. When you do well, we do well. Okay, the same way when we do well, everybody does well. It's like
I love you guys.
We
I really
are
love you
family.
guys, and thanks a million for having me on board. And we must do this again. This was a lot of fun.
we're gonna do it again, but again, I got to thank Noreen because she's the one that reached out to me, and
It's not
or
the-
else you wanna reach out to me, and
it's-
you know me. And
Is
I'm like,
Noreen the same woman you want to have him fire?
well, she said she's unhireable.
She's unhireable. All right, Noreen. Thank you so much. Thank you so much
That's
for your hard
That's
work.
Trinette's mom.
Really?
That's
Okay.
Noreen.
Okay,
So
good afternoon.
we're gonna head on out of here. You're gonna pick a song that we're gonna leave with.
Who, me?
Yeah, you.
Me.
Yeah.
Hey, Alicia, you want to do
Not
that?
who let the dogs out. We
No.
know that one
All
already.
right. How about this one?
I
All right.
understand this.
So With that being said, who the hell is Kim?
I don't know. I wouldn't know him.
Oh God. ANSLEM, thank you so much for being a part of the show.
Thank you very much.
We want you guys to get out and vote. Vote because your lives depend on it. You know what I'm saying? Yes, yes. We Casa, Su Casa, please return to the show at any point in time and you have a blessed one. Please go out and purchase the book, The Adventures of Spin and Scratch. You can get it on Amazon. This we know for sure. Many of us know someone in that demographic of 90, 11 years old. So please purchase the book so that we people can advance. Because there are so many of us. And when we come together, we can conquer the world. Okay? So, ANSLEM, peace.
Bless you.
Bless you. So we have got to go. It's a people's chat room.
Bye-bye.
I don't understand this.
See you next week, Saturday, with Chef Todd from Mutiny Island Vodka. Thanks to DJ Code Red, my son, Dominic Brisbane. You all have a blessed Saturday and Sunday. Respect.
Trying to come up with a baby name, and that is the honest truth, simple and plain. I will never ever talk in bed again. Y'all know you think about him, and if it's a boy and slim, a baby just like you, real sweet and cuddly too.
Right. You're watching me in me eye and talking a pack of lies. Look, ANSLEM, so long, adios and goodbye.
I will never cheat on you. I love and respect you too, just like Pablo Mud, my boo.